Welcome to You Are the Journey, the podcast where we explore the profound depths of the human experience. I'm your host, SIMRAN, and together we'll dive into life's unfolding, its openings, growth, expansion, and illumination. In this space, we reflect on what it means to soften into our truest selves, radiate our inner light, and aspire to align with the vision and purpose of our souls to create revolutionary purpose, fulfillment, and joy in life. Personal reflections, contemplations, and insights to help you become the best version of yourself while embracing the unique path that is yours to walk. You are not on a journey, you are the journey. Pisceans tend to like to swim in all the waters that they find themselves in, and love is one of those places that I continually explore, as well as devotion and ceremony and ritual, all of the things that I feel continually pulsing deep within my bones and my organs and flowing through my blood. And I imagine that you too, regardless of distractions in the world or the busyness that you get caught up in, I imagine from time to time that continuing pulse of what's true does come as a reminder that we often have this sense of the something more that we don't always give ourselves, and that somehow life's sufferings tend to turn us back to. Sometimes it's hard to tap into those places of love. Sometimes it's easy to get hardened by what we see in the world, or simply apathetic because there's just not enough time for everything. Sometimes love's not at the top of our minds. But what about divine love? Does that seem to surround it all? Does that permeate all of the illusion to touch us in moments? Or what depths or perhaps heights do we have to go to touch divine love, to hold it, to keep it, to understand that it walks around all of the time alongside of us and inside of us? It's unfortunate that our world is in a place where there is so much division and conflict. And I think there are a lot of people that are questioning why we're here and what we're doing, and most of all, where we're going. I think there are a lot of young people that question religion these days. They are turning toward greater spirituality. Perhaps you are too. And I think that's the doorway. I think to know divine love, we have to know ourselves. We have to be willing to immerse in all of the cracks and crevices. We have to be willing to let it all go. I've always been fascinated by Dante's Inferno. And when I think about purgatory, I have often viewed it as that's already right here. We have that experience here, especially if we are living in our identity. We can maintain an experience of purgatory. There's so much about identity that feels like it's what locks us in these places of pain and suffering and purgatory. All this external love that exists in the world, whether it's family or partners or friends or celebrities or things that we like to do, there's all of that love, even to the point that we've projected this love for God externally. What kept coming to me was, before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. We are such an escapist society. We're always looking for the next big fix to take us out of where we are. And many times that means creating the fantasy. And I think enlightenment is one of those places where we project. I think the distinction is, before enlightenment, it was the story and the identity and being swept up in the purgatory experience. But after enlightenment, more about the love, there has to be that connection and recognition of that divine beingness or spark internally for us to even open a crack. You know, it's almost as if we are fish in water without knowing we're in the water. We truly don't understand that because we live in such a busy world, and we live in a world where there's so much agenda and everyone's trying to be significant and relative and, you know, be noticed. You are not on a journey. You are the journey. You are experiencing itself. You are not in the world. You are every piece and part of the world speaking back to you about you. What is the love which is ever changing us from good to better, continually bringing us nearer to our end? That moment of grace, I think, is something that probably everyone has prayed for at some point, to have an end to the suffering that they might be experiencing in their lives. And I think that we all have our sufferings, whatever they are. It's whether or not we're willing to face them. It's the silence that we must return to. There's so much in the subtle that we miss, that is the mystical and the beautiful, that is the divine. It feels to me that, at least in my own experience, grief is that fibrillation again, that resuscitation, in a sense. It breaks down everything that was false, everything that was tied or bound or attached. And that the more we allow ourselves to feel, that we disintegrate the identity more and more to the place where we can touch these moments of grace. But grief is something that a lot of people resist because perhaps they feel like if they go there, they'll never recover.
Grief is the dark room with a scary monster in it that we dare not enter, lest we are overwhelmed. In the beginning, it is so. Slowly we come to know that all the armor and protection that we've manifest to keep us away from that monster, that door that hides the horrors of this life or perhaps even past lives. Let's stay with this one. We come to know that those protections and armor have not served us, and that we have the ability to grieve slowly but surely that which needs to be spoken and said and recognized. And sometimes we don't actually have the distinct memory of what happened, but the body hides nothing, and the tears will be revealed that allowed an opening. So it's this paradox. Ideally, we have people like you or I or friends or partners or even our higher power that we can shed those tears and allow ourselves to be feeling without understanding, without thinking, without making sense, but that what happened hurts. And grief becomes that doorway to the light and love and potential for redemption.
Our divinity comes through our humanity. Part of what we're really here for is to feel that we embodied on this earth, to really know the full gamut of what it means to be human. And that means embracing all of the messiness while aspiring toward the highest aspect of ourselves. And in that humanity are those glistenings of the divine spark. Lay that golden God cord. Love makes us just, simple, pure, rich, wise, and contented. And with its sweetness, it lessens every grief. This divine love, or even simply love, that individuals aspire to, it seems as if before we go out and project that and put that out into the world, there must be an incubation time where we're willing to receive and allow that for ourselves, where there's a worthiness to even believe that we are capable of holding that, of allowing that, of being loved in that way. That means reaching out for help. That means asking for help. How we ask for the unseen in the midst of times where we really can't see anything. In a sense, all we have to do is remember and trust in this connection. Hold that idea of the God cord in the spine. There is so much in the pausing and in the presence, within the silence or the breeze that runs through the trees. So after moving through some of your own mystical experiences and your exploration, how do you respond to that question? What is the meaning of divine love in the world today? You are not on a journey. You are the journey. I invite you to explore my new course. If you'd like to try out the first module for free, it is available, and you can open up to all the ways that your life is talking to you. Everything from your body, car, and home, to your children and pets, to even the global events that we have going on in the world. If you want to know what you truly are, then it's time to discover all that you are. So check that out. It's called Intuitive Living, and you can go to my websites to find that. Until next week, I am SIMRAN, in love, of love, with love, and as love. Be well. I am deeply grateful for your presence today in joining me for You Are the Journey. As we continue to explore the depths of our human experience, remember that every step you take is a vital part of your sacred evolution. If you've enjoyed today's episode, please take a moment to subscribe, rate, and share this podcast with others who might benefit from these conversations. And I hope you'll stay connected through my Substack newsletter and community titled Beyond the Illusion. Your support helps us draw in a community dedicated to personal growth and collective awakening. I invite you to carry the insights we've shared into your daily life and allow them to guide you toward fulfillment and joy. Keep radiating your light and nurturing your soul's purpose. Remember, you are not on a journey, you are the journey, and every moment is an opportunity for transformation. Until we meet again, in love, of love, with love, and as love, I am SIMRAN. Be well.